Hi, it's Paul from Model Builder International. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. The link is down there. That way you'll get notified of future videos, be they inbox reviews, builds, or the competitions and giveaways. So today we're going to have a look at a reboxing from Flyhawk. This is their HMS Prince of Wales May 1941 kit. And also we've got the decks to have a look at as well. Okay, so there's the wooden deck. That's separate to this kit. This is the Prince of Wales May 1941 Battle of Denmark Strait, when Her and the Hood went up against Prince Eugen and the Bismarck. So this is slightly different to the first version they released, which was December 1941 when she was sunk. This is the special edition with photo etch, the brass and the resin. Nothing much on the bottom box. On the side here, I noted last time, Königsberg and the Bismarck in 1/700th. I think obviously quite a few people have done the Bismarck before, but I seem to think, not sure if anybody's done the Königsberg in plastic before, so that one will be really interesting to see and will probably do quite well. So let's open the box and have a look-see inside. Let's start with the cover art, and there's a bit of information about her on the back as well, in English, I think Chinese and Japanese, I think. Then the instructions. So look here. So there's two sheets here. Obviously going to be very similar to the other version. This one's 10 steps on that one. Nice use of colour throughout it. We'll go through these steps in a bit. And then another 5 steps on here. 15 steps in total. Colour call out. Reasonably straightforward paint job. Colours called out in by name: Mr. Hobby, Tamiya and White Ensign. And then on the other side we have Walrus. How to those ships, the Prince of Wales had a Walrus on board, so there's a build for that. And it also mentions the deck, which we've got a copy of here. And also there's a masking sheet for this as well. And there's also, you can get a display stand for this as well. And then a couple of things here. HMS Legion, which is being released, and HMS Kelly, which has not yet been released. So that's another one coming as well. So we've got in here the photo etch. Instructions there. There's 3 sheets in there. I'll open this up and we'll have a look at it when we go through the instructions. Again, photographs of everything you see here and more will be on the website as well, so just use the link under the video if you want to see all the photographs of everything, all the instructions and everything will be on there. So this is a couple of bits stuck together here, some secondary armament turrets there. Also this, so I can get the lid off this. Oh, it's taped shut, so I'll do that in a sec. There's a ship's crest in there. Then we have the resin parts are in there. And then we've got one main element. There's the weight. Usual Flyhawk. You see the bags with all the small threads in. And the bigger parts, turrets and funnels. Small decal sheet. And we have top and bottom, there's the deck. Nicely, ends are protected by cardboard. That's a nice touch. So everything, no matter how it moves around, it's going to be okay. And then we have the deck. Let's have a look at this. So this is the full hull version, but since it's separated, you could actually do the waterline version if you wanted as well. So there's no problem there. Looking on here, there's hull plating on the side there, lots of portholes. Portholes have eyebrows moulded onto them, it seems. So that's really rather nice. Look at the hull bottom. No extra hull plating on there. The bilge keels look moulded on. So that's good. So what we'll do, I'll quickly open up some of these bags and we'll have a look at some of the parts. Okay, so there's the three main turrets, the quads and the twin turret. Lots of fine detail on the top of those. We have a couple of these ships, the cranes there, very finely moulded in plastic. Often you'll see these just solid lumps of plastic with detail on the outside. Flyhawk actually get the detail on there, so it is actually hollow. Oops. Ship's propellers, life rafts, lots of small parts in there. Flyhawk are really good at getting fine detail into their kits, and there's no exception on this one. Open this up. Let's have a look here. Funnels are side moulded, they're hollow top and bottom. Can you see through? No, you can't see all the way through them, but they are hollow top and bottom. The funnel caps are not one piece of plastic, they have detail on the top as well, as you can see. So the outside of some superstructure there, that has details on it. Pretty fine detail actually. Ship's bowels in plastic, so if you didn't get the special edition with the brass, these bowels are hollow on the ends, 1/700th cast hollow. There's that one bent a little, but shouldn't be easy enough to straighten it out. Again, more parts there. These are the big parts of the superstructure. Lots of nice detail, and the ship's boats live in the middle there. And there's ship doors on the side there, you can see. The usual Flyhawk, lots of nice detail. They really do seem to have mastered the art of fine moulding. That's the secondary element, ship boats. So let's go through the instructions and have a close-up look at some of the parts. So as the box says, this is the May 1941 version of the Prince of Wales, and this is the limited edition kit we're looking at with the extra photo etch resin and brass. The two versions that Flyhawk have done, they're only a few months apart, so the differences are really quite small. Looking through the plastic, I can't actually see any differences there. I can see some small changes in the photo etch. Basically, you'd have to know your Prince of Wales really well to be able to spot the differences. So that being said, this Flyhawk kit, or the two kits now, They're easily the best Prince of Wales kits on the market. I think the only other people who've done this recently is Tamiya, and that was 1975. Their original kit is from, and reboxed in 2004. So inside this kit, about the same as the last one, we've got nearly 600 plastic parts, over 200 photo etch parts, 50 odd brass parts, 60 odd resin parts, and then we've got a couple of sheets of build instructions, a couple of sheets of photo etching instructions, and a double-sided sheet for placement of all the ventilators, with loads of little resin parts there. So, that being said, let's go through the steps and see what it's made of. So step one, basically that's putting the hull together. You have a choice of a full hull or a waterline hull. The deck goes on here. There's some very nice detail on the plastic deck. You also get, in this special edition, you get wooden decks as well. If you're doing the full hull version, the propellers and propeller shafts go on at this step as well. Step two is mostly about the three main turrets, putting those together, several parts into each one. Obviously the special edition kit has brass barrels to replace the plastic barrels, but even so the plastic barrels do have hollow ends, so they're pretty good in their own right. Step three moves around a little bit, but it's basically making some of these superstructure assemblies, adding small parts and putting small parts onto those assemblies, ready for later on adding to the hull. Step four is mostly amidships. We're putting the ship's masts together. These are finely reproduced in plastic. You can also put the crane together. The level of detail on that is pretty nicely moulded actually. A lot of kits will just have that as one blob of plastic with some moulding on the outside, but this is actually hollow. Also put together the secondary armament, some ship's boats and the funnels, and those also are moulded hollow as well. Step five is mostly adding vents to the forward half of the ship. There'll be lots of small parts here. In the special edition kit, a lot of these will be replaced with resin. Step six is where we're starting to put the first assemblies onto the hull. And here we start with the secondary armament, the forward turrets, and a few ship's boats going onto the thing. The ship's boats are very nicely deep. Step seven, we're doing some more work on one of the main superstructure assemblies, adding some ship's boats, adding funnels, adding the crane, adding masts, basically getting that assembly ready to go onto the hull. Step 8 is reasonably straightforward, adding some stairways and adding a couple of big sub-assemblies onto the hull. Step 9 again, reasonably straightforward, adding the aft turret, adding the rear superstructure and a few small parts onto the hull. Step 10, this might be the easiest one, literally adding half a dozen small pieces to the aft end of the ship. Step 11 is just adding some life rafts onto a piece of superstructure. Step 12 is more the same, adding more life rafts to various parts of the superstructure and the ship's deck. Step 13 is adding yet more life rafts. In fact, this is the trend for these last few steps. Step 14 and 15 are also adding life rafts in a variety of places around the ship. You get a 1/700th Walrus kit as well. We've reviewed these separately elsewhere, but basically it's made up of about 10 parts of plastic. If you have the special edition kit, there's also some photo etch to go on here to replace a few parts and also to enhance the detail as well. You get decals for this aircraft are supplied as well. Basically, it's a very nice 1/700 scale kit actually. Okay, a quick overview of the photo etch. Like I said, there's over 200 parts of photo etch to add to the kit, and they replace basically all the usual suspects. Things like the crane, all the railings are here, the radars, and there's extra parts to go on to the funnels. We also have a lot of stairwells are replaced. As I mentioned, the Walrus also gets an update with photo etch being added to that as well to make it more detailed. And there's a colour layout of all the ship's railings as well. They're colour coordinated so you can see which railing goes to which place. But overall, there's quite a fair bit of photo etch to add to this kit, and it'll enhance the details quite significantly. A quick mention to the fact that there's also over 60 resin and brass vents to add as well. Some of these will replace the plastic, but it looks like they also add more to the kit as well. So there's more detail to add there. The paint scheme is reasonably straightforward. Basically one colour overall. One colour for the deck and another colour below the waterline. The colours are called out by name: Mr. Hobby, Tamiya and White Ensign. And also you get a decal sheet with decals for the Walrus and also for the ship's ensign. So, overall conclusion. Since the only other competitor for this really from another company is a Tamiya kit that's 30 years old since it was first made, it's easily really it's the only Prince of Wales options if you're after a modern built highly detailed kit. That being said, there's, even without the extra photo etch and the brass parts, it's a really good kit, and the only thing you'd probably find missing from the basic version is ship's railings, which you could probably buy a set of, a sort of generic set of Royal Navy ship's railings. But than that, it's a really good kit, a lot of detail. It's going to come out in total close to 1,000 parts with everything in this special edition. And you also get the bonus of the ship's crest as well. So many thanks to Flyhawk for sending it along for us.